This is the plaintiff, Peter Spencer. He says he was hired as a dishwasher at the defendant's restaurant, worked for the guy for 67 hours, and was paid nothing. He worked very hard for that money, and all he wants is what's rightfully his, the $536 he's owed. This is the defendant, Mark Longchamp, manager of Soul Food Factory. He says he paid the ungrateful plaintiff in cash, in his hand, and the guy threw the cash in his face. The guy got nasty with him, burned his bridges, and will never be hired at his restaurant again. That's for darn sure. Oh, him? Get out of here. He's accused of washing his hands of it.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. Peter Spencer,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the Soul Food Factory, represented here by Mark Longchamp. You are the manager?
Yes.
Okay. Are you the owner?
Part owner, yes.
Okay. For $536 in unpaid wages during the week, or during the 5 days between October 23rd and October 28th last year. According to you, 67 hours?
Yes.
At $8 an hour. All right, what happened here?
Approximately October 22nd of 13, I got word of mouth from an associate that they may be accepting applications for employment at the newly opened Soul Food Factory. So he suggested that I go see what's going on down there. So I went ahead and proceeded. When I got there, I spoke to the defendant and told him that I had prior experience with working in that establishment as a dishwasher, and I was familiar with the dishwasher machine. So he said he would consider it and give me a call. So the next day, which would be the 23rd, he gave me a call about 2 o'clock and asked me how soon can I get there. I told him, he asked me if I can get there by 3:30. I said, do my best to get there. I arrived there around 3:50. He was a little upset about me being late in 20 minutes. I said, well, here on the short
Why were you late?
20 minutes late because I had to make arrangements for my children and everything. Like I said, he just called me on 2 o'clock. The kids got out of school a little after 3.
Okay.
So he said, go ahead and hit the dishes. So I got to work, and from there, like I said, the next several days I've been putting in 10, 12, 15 hours, and was trying to figure out a work schedule and payment arrangements. And
But he didn't tell you how much you were going to make beforehand?
No. He kept saying, we discuss it.
But how are you going to start working what if he says, I'm going to pay you $1? All right, you're going to be a salaried employee, it's going to be $30 a week. How were you in control of what it is he was going to say?
You're correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so where did you get the $8 figure?
Eventually, when he gave me an opportunity to speak to him, I believe that was that Saturday, I believe was the 26th.
Okay.
And I finally was able to stop him for a minute. We began to talk. He said that dishwashers usually make about $300 per week salary base. He said, my brother's not here, he's on vacation. He's the one that makes the final decision, but I'm gonna give you the option of the salary or $8 per hour.
Okay.
So I said, well, since I don't have a schedule and I'm not gonna get dogged out from sun up to sundown, I would rather take the hourly wages until your brother gets back.
Okay.
And after that, that Monday, which was the day before my birthday, because my birthday was on the 29th, that's why I kind of remember it, he offered me $200. And I'm just making a long story short.
So now you'd worked those 5 days, and according to you, you'd worked 67 hours?
Yeah, yes.
And in 5 days?
Yes, okay. From the 23rd to the 28th.
Okay, so you come in that Monday, and you say, can I get paid before I keep working?
Yes.
And he gives you $200 instead of the amount that you thought you were going to get.
Yeah, well, prior to him giving me the $200, I was getting frustrated, and I was about to walk away. And I called my neighbor, and I said, look, man, I'm getting really upset because I was complaining to him about working for the Soul Food Factory because he knows the joke. I called it the slave factory because of the way I'm being pushed. And so I said, I feel like really walking away. I don't know what to do. So he said, I'm on my way down there. Maybe we can talk and cool off, take a break.
Come on up here. Is that the gentleman you're speaking of?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And why were you going, who were you going to talk to?
Well, I was just going to keep him calm.
Oh, okay.
Because he's kind of excitable. You know?
Okay, and so you went over there on Monday together?
No, he picked.
No, I came in afterwards.
Okay.
After he went there.
And when you talked to him, he offered you how much?
Well, he offered me $200 in his presence.
Okay, is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
And what did your friend say to him when he said that?
He said he didn't want the $200. He said, you owe me more than that.
Okay.
You know, and actually, he told him, well, you know what, just to keep everything calm, just give me $300 and I'll just walk away. And he told him, no, you'll take the $200 and this and that and the other.
What's going on here, Mr. Longchamp?
Okay, Your Honor, Peter Spencer came to my establishment not once but several occasions to ask me for a dishwasher position. I told him that I'm not interested in dishwashers at the time. I can easily get a dishwasher. I have a lot of guys in the back. I'm looking for a line cook. The second time he came back with all these credentials of how experienced he is and where he's worked in the building before. He can actually work the dishwashing machine. And I said to him, and he even said, I'll work a couple of days for free so you can see my experience.
That he'll work for you a couple of days for free so you can see his experience.
Because he was very persistent. He said, can you give me a try? I haven't worked in a while. I have bills to pay.
Give me a try is different from I'll work for free.
He said
You're
that
saying
as well.
He told you he would work for free.
He said, I'll work a couple of days for free.
Did you say to him that you would work a couple of days for free?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have a witness.
Okay. I need to hear from your witness who says that. Who's your witness?
Jordan.
Come on up. And what is your relationship to him?
I'm in one of his employees, Your Honor.
Say it again.
One of his employees.
Okay, and what was it you heard them discuss?
When he came into there, he did. Mr. Spencer had actually said, "If you give me a try, I will work a couple of days for free to show you how I work well. You know, show you my credentials." And that's what they agreed on at the first time.
So, what do you suppose if he in fact agreed to that at the beginning? Why is he so incensed when he's offered $200 later? Because it was so many hours?
Well, I wasn't there the whole time. He was there. We have different hours.
How many hours did he work?
From what I know, I'm there from 7 in the morning till 4:30 at night. I see him in the morning for a couple of hours, but then he would have a break between 3 and 6, and then he'd come back. But he would usually not come back on time, because I remember specifically that there would be dishes piled up in the back, and one of our bosses would ask, "Where's the dishwasher?" Well, we sent him home for a 3-hour break. And he would
But how
come
many
back.
hours a day was he working? Was he there from 7:30 in the morning?
No.
When would he get there?
I specifically know that I come in before he does.
Right, what time does he get there?
About 8 or 9.
Okay, and then he's there until 3,
Yes.
and then he comes back and works until what time?
It depends, sometimes until 9, sometimes till 12. But what made the day so long, Your Honor, I said, why don't you come into the kitchen and try and look at what they're doing? If you're that knowledgeable, you have those good skill sets, you can probably move to the line cook position very fast. That was the arrangement. He would get there, Your Honor, it would be a different problem every day. That's why he ended up leaving, because I started saying to him, you're not holding your end of the bargain.
Why?
What I hired him for, he wasn't doing it. He was lollygagging around the kitchen. Then he would come back from his breaks. The place would reek of alcohol, okay? And then I would say, Peter, I don't think it's working out. I don't think this is going to work out. So finally, on the 5th day, he said, we never got a chance to talk. I said, okay, you know what, Peter? We'll talk today. And so by the time I got in the kitchen, he walked out of the basement stairs and said, I'm going to leave with whatever dignity I have. I said, Peter, you're going to quit? I said, I gave you a chance, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to quit. All right? Well, it's on you. He said, can I get my money? I said, Peter, come on Friday when I do payroll, and I'll give you your money.
Did you ever sit down to calculate the hours he worked and all that?
Yes.
And how many hours did he work?
If we take away the days that he was supposed to work for free, I came up with 30 hours.
How many days was he there?
He was there for about 5 days.
And how many hours was he working per day?
He would do 4 hours in the morning, get that 3-hour break in the afternoon.
She says he would come in at 9. That's not 4 hours, that's 6 hours.
It would vary, Your Honor. It would be based on the business need. And so he would leave, and I would say come back at 6 when the dinner starts, and sometimes he would come back at 7. It would be 7:30. So it was never really, and I said to him, I said, Peter, I haven't discussed the salary with you, or if you're going to be a salary employee or an hourly employee. So we'll discuss those things. And so before we can even handle that, he resigned, and that's when all the problems came. That's when he came back, threatened me.
But why did he resign?
He just walked out. He said he's going to leave with whatever dignity he has.
Why? What was he mad at? He was mad because he hadn't gotten paid, and because no one had told him this is going to be your salary and this is what you're going to make, and this is how many hours you're going to work. You were just really driving him kind of hard.
With his case, it was different. In his case, he was so persistent, and he gave you this long spiel about how he needs to work. And I said, you know what? I'll help the guy out. Let's give the guy a try. And that's where we were.
Let's give the guy a chance to work for me for free.
No, absolutely not, Your Honor. And I bought you
That's what you said. You said he agreed to work for you for free.
For 2 days. It was 2 days for free to show me. And I even said to him, I said, you know what, Peter? We're not going to do that. No one works for free. We're going to work out, once we see what you can do, we'll work out
So
either
then why are
salary,
you deducting the 2 days if you don't feel that that you didn't agree to that?
And Your Honor, and I made my decision based on different things. When to show you what kind of person he is, he walked in a restaurant the day after he resigned, after he brought his friend to intimidate me and made a big scene in the dining room. And
You're not that intimidating.
well, that's what I guess that's what
Kind of tall and skinny.
Yeah.
He looks. I'd be more worried about him than him. He's just a Johnny Come Lately. This guy is mad.
Well,
what are you so mad at that you walked in that day with? I'm just going to leave with my dignity. The hours?
It wasn't even the hours. Because
What was it?
It was the fact that he was ducking me to discuss my pay, my salary, and everything. And then it was guys at the back door from the other place that they had worked from Newark, like older guys coming off of buses from Newark, standing in line, knocking on the back door, asking for their pay that they didn't receive. And these people looked like they were really going through it, like people you could take advantage of. Maybe they had issues or whatever. So I seen a pattern, so that I got really concerned. I wanted my money.
Welcome back to the People's Court. RV11 here. So how long do you continue working for somebody if 1 week the guy says, I can't pay you this week?
I'll find another job right then and there.
You would, a good excuse wouldn't work?
No.
What about you?
No, it wouldn't work. I would think that I would take him to court to try to get my money.
Oh, good luck going to court when you're still working for him.
I give him 2 weeks.
You give him 2 weeks. That's actually interesting. See if it's a pattern. I like that. Going inside the courtroom.
Of course, nobody kept time records or anything else. It's just a matter of, one person's word against another about the number of hours. I'm not buying that he was supposed to work 2 days for free. He may have said that, but when you testify that you said, no, nobody does that, I don't want to take advantage of you, there's no 2 days for free here. I'm going to order that the defendant pay the plaintiff $400 in wages. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Well, it gives us a chance to get some comment from the defendant. Step on in a little closer here. Tell me, what's your reaction to the judge's verdict here? Come on up.
My reaction? Yeah. I'm furious. I know it's a small amount of money, but the judge really didn't give me a chance to present her all the facts, all the case, and I didn't have a chance to say everything that I wanted.
It's a very thin line sometimes between giving somebody an advantage, right, to someone, or taking advantage.
Okay, well, you say advantage, and I say an opportunity that he squandered.
Okay. All right, right down this way, okay? All right, sir, so come on in here. You wind up with a $400 award from the judge. You satisfied with how this comes out?
I'm content. I'm content with the fact that justice was served in the matter. I did present myself as a person that was in need for a job, and I did sell myself, but no, not for free. But yes, I did put it out there with a decent presentation to this man looking for work,
Well, do you think he was giving you an opportunity? Do you feel like that was his intent? You weren't taken advantage of, you don't think?
I was taken extremely advantage of. I was a dishwasher, handyman, waiter, waitress assistant, cook's assistant. I was taken big advantage of.
All right. You able to get another job somewhere? A little bit better, maybe?
I work down the street from there. That's a temporary position, but it puts a half a loaf of bread on it.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Harvey?
So we've talked about this before. If you are in a situation where you're working for somebody, they don't pay you, your state labor commission, a lot of them have the power to kind of go in there and look at what's going on, and they can actually put pressure on an employer to pay if the employer is doing the wrong thing. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.